Hi, so my name is Bruce Meek. I'm the Advice Centre Manager in the Students' Union. My primary job role is giving advice to students regarding a range of things: academic, finance, housing, and general well-being. Um, what I'm going to talk to you about today is depression. It's something that I have suffered from for quite a while now. I find it a disease, an illness that basically that anybody can suffer from. Um, my personal journey in depression probably started around about 4 or 5 years ago. At the time, I'd gone through quite a period in terms of losing my job, and lots of other things that were going on, and obviously things that you would think, or maybe they cause depression. I think for me, depression is something isn't particularly what I've learned over the last few years. It isn't particularly something that triggers it. It's lots of things that basically a combination of things that make you feel unwell and depressed about life. Why did I know I was depressed? I think that's probably the answer what I would give. I never went to a doctor's, and they never said you are depressed, this and the other. I used to walk around. Everybody talks about a black dog that walks around with you. What I would say is I would walk around in an out of body experience. I would look at myself and think, "Come on, Bruce, snap out of it. You don't need to be like this. You don't need to be like that." And depression is, for me, is that inability to snap out of it. You can't snap out of it, and actually, you get to a point where you can't snap out of it. You feel that you're causing everybody pain and suffering around you, and actually, where I got to was basically, people would be better off if I wasn't around. I won't go into the specifics, but yes, I talked about talking about, I thought about taking my own life. I went to try and do those things, and actually, I look back on that period now, and think to myself, my family had lost me, I'd lost all of these things, and but at the same time as that black dog, that depression stops you from stops you thinking rationally. Okay, I at that point saw a doctor. Went to see the doctor. The doctor asked me lots of questions. You fill in a lovely form, and they ask you lots of questions about yourself and what do you think about this and how do you think about that, and then they ask you a question: do you think about suicide? Do you think about killing yourself? And I remember clearly asking the doctor, does planning your own funeral count as thinking about killing yourself? And she said to me, what do you mean by that? And I can tell you now, I used to plan my funeral 3 or 4 times a day, every day, and had done for a long, long while. Who would come to it? What music would the light played? People would be better off without me, who would turn up. And that sense of worthlessness and patheticness is the thing that basically made me feel, that made me basically get to that point in my life. I look back on it now, and I still take the tablets, I still take the antidepressants, I still struggle daily with, feeling up and down. I see a lot of students in similar situations, and you know what? I try to say that life is a bit like a roller coaster, and when you're depressed, you're at the bottom of the roller coaster, and you come up occasionally, and you come down again on the roller coaster. What I would say is counselling and therapy and all of it smooths that roller coaster out, makes it a bit more like that. My life is a bit like that now, which is good. I cope with it, but what I also do hang on to is the things that I wouldn't have been able to enjoy if I'd have took my own life. And I think of things like my kids, I think about my wife and all those things, and I say, and they bring me lots of enjoyment. But it's little things like that feeling when you go to the cinema and your film's coming on, a film that you want to watch, and you're sitting there and you've got the popcorn in your lap and you've got a drink by the side of you, and that great feeling when the British Board of Film Classification comes up and the film's about to start. The anticipation, that's a great feeling. Things I miss walking my dog, and I could list all these things, and there's and I think if I'll leave one thing about depression, everybody's got a personal journey with depression. I hung on to the fact, and I'm very open about my illness now with everybody. I hung on to the fact that lots of other people do suffer from it, and once you start talking about it, lots of other people say, yeah, I feel the same, I did this, I did that, I take tablets, I have counselling, I have this. There's a lot of us are suffering from it, and the more we talk about it, is better, because actually more people will stop suffering and actually be open about it and actually deal with it. And if I leave you one thing, there's a guy that is a fantastic author called Matt Haig, who's had his own personal journeys with this. And if you want to read one of his books about his personal journey, he's great. And in the end of it, it's the thing that helped me more than anything, and I cling on to now, is things that I would have stopped enjoying out of took my own life. And he lists a whole lots of things. And I urge anybody who's feeling depressed, A, to seek help, and B, to write all those things that they would miss, and actually do more of those things that they would miss, because that would make them feel a whole lot better.